We're going to talk about box and whisker plots, and it's super, super easy. And your calculator will also do that for you the same way that we've been finding our mean and our median. Remember, I told you we would use those things at the bottom. That's your box and whisker plot. All right. So we have quartiles, and it says Q1, Q2, and Q3. I'm going to skip that for a minute. Your interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, and I'll talk to you about that in just a minute when you figure out what Q3 and Q1 is. And then I'm not going to define box and whisker plot because we're going to just keep talking about that through this whole thing, okay? So the interquartile range is the difference between your Q1 and your Q3. All right. So on this box and whisker plot, this is what it looks like. It has a box and it has whiskers. That's why it's called box and whiskers. Everybody understand that? This very first number is your minimum. So it's the littlest number that you have in your set of data. This next number is what we call your Q1 or your quartile 1. Your Q1 is your median of your lower half of data. The median of your lower half of data. The middle number is that median that you've been finding. Okay, so you know how to find the median. That's the middle of all the data. Then you have Q3, which is the middle of the upper half of the data. And then the very last number is the maximum or the biggest number in your data. Any questions so far? All right, the left whisker, that's this little part right here, extends from the minimum to the Q1 or the first quartile. So it extends, and I'm just going to put min for minimum. We'll put max for maximum to the first quartile. Each little section, I'm going to highlight it for you. This is one section from dot to dot. This is a section from dot to dot. This section from dot to dot. And that very last section right here. All contain about 25% of data. So 25, 25, 25, 25. 4 quarters makes $1. Everybody got it? 100%. So that would be all of your data is represented. All right. So it represents about 25. So each color is 25% of your data. The box extends from the first quartile to the third quartile, or Q1 to Q3. And it has a vertical line through the median. That full box, that whole box right there, the length of it represents the interquartile range. That was that big word up there that we defined, Q3 minus Q1. The box contains 2 colors, so 225s is 50%. So the box contains 50% of the data. The right whisker, the green one up there, extends from the third quartile to the max. And again, one color is 25% of the data. So you do have box and whiskers on your final exam. Box and whiskers are so easy. So easy, okay? They'll ask you questions about them, and here's the kind of questions that they'll ask. It says, what is the median of the set of data? So remember, the first number is our min. The second one is our Q1. The middle is our median. Then we have Q3 and our max. It always works like that every single time. And then you just answer the questions. So what is the median of this data set? 20. You use that number line and you write your answer down. Everybody good? What is the lower quartile of the data set? What's the little quartile? It didn't ask for the minimum, it asked for the lower quartile. 16 and a half, how do we get 16 and a half? It's right between 16 and 17. What's the upper quartile? 23. Okay, think back to up here when I had it colored in. Each color is 25%. What percent of the data is between the lower quartile and the upper quartile? So here's your lower quartile and upper quartile. The full box is 50%. It don't get any harder than that. I mean, like it's super easy. And you can create them in your calculator. So that won't even be a big deal. Same thing. What is the median on this one? 35. Remember, it's the one with the straight line. So this is your median. What percentage of data is below the median? So below would be this part of the box and this line. 50. Yep. Remember, each color is worth 25. There's 2 of them. So that would be 50. The 5 values that make up the box and whisker plot are, remember our 5 values. Start with the first one. The first one is the minimum. Sorry, I'm not writing very well today. What's your minimum value? Yeah, what is it? 25. You are perfect. Q1, the next value is 30. Your median or your middle, we already found out was 35. Your Q3 is, and your max is. That's it. I'm gonna let you take a second to write that down, and then we'll get number 3. I'm going to show you how to do number 3 by hand, but then I'm going to show you on your calculator. For your homework, you can do it on your calculator, but again, this could be a calculator inactive, okay? Really simple, really simple. All right. So to figure these out, all of your minimum Q1, median Q3, there's mean that's hiding in there, and mode, we'll go back over that, your range and your max. Range you haven't done yet, and you have done max. So the ones I want to focus on right now are the ones we don't know how to find yet, or that use our box and whisker plot, okay? So you're going to take your data set and you're going to put it in order. Look at this data. What's the littlest number? 2. I know, you got to be careful. That's why I don't like to do them by hand. You got to be careful. All right, what's your next one? Look again. There's a 3. What's the next one? Now it's 4. What's the next one? 6. Are there more than 1 6? Yeah, how many? I see 2. Does everybody see 2? Y'all tell me if I do it wrong, okay? What do we see next? How many 7? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What comes next? 8. There's just one of those. What comes next? 9. There's just one of those. And then 11 and 12. All right. How do we find the median? That's the first thing we want to find. What is the median? It's the middle, right? So I'm not going to mark them out. I'm actually going to highlight them out so you guys can still see them. So the 2 and the 12 mark out. The 3 and the 11 mark out. The 4 and the 9. The 6 and the 8. 6 and 7. 7 and 7. So this is your middle. So your median is 7. Now to find your Q1, you do the same thing, but you only do it with this data. You see what I'm saying? So the lower half of the data, do the same thing. So we're going to mark it out. 2 and 7, 3 and 6. What happens if I have two numbers? Add them and divide by 2. 4 plus 6 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. That's your Q1. What's your minimum? 2 is your littlest number. Q3, you do the top half of the data. So 12 and 7 mark out, 11 and 7 mark out. We have 8 and 9. So we're going to add it together. We get 17. This is a really crappy one because it's going to give us a decimal, but it's a nice decimal. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. So that's our Q3. Oh, sorry, 8.5. What's our maximum? 12. All right. If we were doing it by hand, how would we find our mean? Divide by the number there is, right? We're going to put that one in our calculator and find out. What's our mode? And which one is it? 7. The range that we haven't done, your regular range, not your IQR, but your regular range is your max minus your min. So what is 12 was our max minus our min is 10. So that's your range. But again, we're only focused on the stars so that we can make a box and whisker. Okay. So how do you make a box and whisker plot? You make a number line. Our number line has to at least go from 2 to 12. Does everybody see that? 2 to 12. I'm going to start mine at 0. I like to go a little bit before. And I'm lazy and I don't want to make 12 lines. So I'm going to go by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to 14. You can put your little lines in between that represent 1, and that is perfectly fine. Okay. But you do not have to write every single number out. Okay. So this is 0. I just didn't write 1, 2, didn't write 3, 4, didn't write 5, 6. Okay. You're going to start with all 5 of those dots. So our first dot on our minimum is going to go above 2. So you're just going to make a dot above 2. We're going to go in order. Your Q1 is 5, so I'm going to make a dot above 5. Your median is 7, so I'll make a dot above 7. And we want these in a pretty straight line. Q3 is 8.5, so I'm going to make a dot above 8.5. And then our max is 12. The middle 3 will make your box. So you just do vertical lines and then box them in. And then the last 2 will make your whiskers. That's it, y'all. That's all you gotta do. All right. So now I'm going to show you how to get all these values on your calculator. Remember how you found your mean and your median on your calculator? Doing the same thing. So I'm going to go into Stat and Edit. And I'm going to put my values that they gave me in. 7, 6, 2, 7, 8, 3, 12, 9, 7, 4, 6, 7, 11. And then I'm going to take a second to check, make sure I typed them in right and typed them all in. 7, 6, 2, 7, 8, 3, 12, 9, 7, 4, 6, 7, 11. Everybody good? You're going to go into Stat and calc your 1-bar stats, the same thing that you've been doing. So nothing any different there. There's your mean. That's why I didn't want to do the mean because I knew it was crazy. 6.8 is what our mean is. And if you slide down, you guys will see the minimum, the Q1, so we can check ours. The minimum was 2, the Q1 was 5. The median was 7, the Q3 was 8.5, and the maximum was 12. Everybody good? All right, check this out. Do second, let's do y equals for a second. Y equals, if you have anything in there cleared out. Did y'all put the stuff in? Did y'all do this with me? You did not, don't lie. So if you didn't do it with me, it's not going to show this. It's pointless if you didn't do it with me, because now you're not going to know how to graph it on your calculator. So we would go to stat plot, and we're going to get 50 questions about this, Ms. Walser, so be ready for that. And I'm going to turn that on. And then if you guys look, there are 2 different box plots. On this one, it's probably not going to matter. I would just do this one. Anywhere else, I would do the other ones. The other ones show the little dots, which would be outliers, but I'm not ready for that yet. And then I would zoom 9 or zoom stat. If you move over, trace it, if you hit trace and you move over, you'll see that it gives you all those values. That's it. Got it? So your calculator will graph it for you, and you just copy it onto your paper. That's it. All right, flip your notes over. Invalid dimensions, which means you probably don't have an L1 in your stat. I'll check you out in a minute, okay?
Oh, you gotta have that stuff in there. No, that's probably not.
I did it with my check. Can they do it with like the one variable side?
You gotta do it with the numbers.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I did. Because it's down at the very bottom, all the information's down at the very bottom.
Yeah, that's what I just showed them.
Okay, so do they have to go to like the graph like you did?
No, I was just showing them how to graph it on their calculator. Yeah, that's all. All right. So use the box and whisker plots below. You have EOC questions just like this. Okay, so in a couple weeks, you're about to take this exam. You're gonna have questions just like this. Use the box and whisker plots below. What did the interquartile ranges? What did I tell you the interquartile range was? Anybody remember? Yeah, Q3 minus Q1. It's the box, the length of the box. Okay, the length of the box. What do the interquartile ranges tell you about the average, I should say the average monthly rainfall of each city? Just tell me. What do you think? What about Miami? And we're just looking at the box, just the box. From 7.5. What's this one? 2.5 to 7.5 inches. How much at the time? What's this? How much does this box represent? How much data? What percentage? The whole box. 50% of the time. What about New Orleans? It rains what? I like your 6, 5, maybe a little more. We can say 5 to 6 inches, 50% of the time. Which one gets more rain? Yeah, you can say that as well. Anything that you can talk about, anything that you can talk about. But again, this will be like a multiple choice. You don't have to type anything in like this. Okay. So it might have those as your multiple choice answers. All right. Look at the next one. Ms. Russell drew a box and whisker plot to display data about the number of hours her piano students practiced last month, as shown below. What whole number best represents the median number of hours? Median number of hours that her students practice playing. Whole number. 35. That's it. Y'all understand how easy box and whisker plots are? Okay. You should not miss those on your final exam. Colin caught 15 fish in each of the 2 ponds on his wrench. The box and whisker plot summarize the lengths and inches of the fish from each pond. So Taylor Pond and Willow Pond. Find the lengths of the fish from Willow Pond. Sorry, the lengths of the fish from Willow Pond have a what? Greater range than the lengths from Taylor Pond. Median equal to 12 inches. We'll look at all these in just a second. Mean equal to 20 inches, or lower quartile equal to the lower quartile of Taylor Pond. So let's start there. Remember, lower quartile is Q1. Look at their Q1s. Are they equal? Yes or no? Yeah. So this one is good. So this might be our answer. Can we tell the mean from the box plot? No. So this one's never going to be a choice in the first place. Everybody understand that? Can we tell the median? Yeah. What's the median of this one? 12. But what pond is this? It asked about Willow Pond. What's Willow Pond's median? 11. So we know this one's not right. Is everybody good with that? And then let's just talk about range, because we haven't talked about it at all. Remember, the regular range is max minus min. Interquartile range is the box length. Okay, so there's two different ones. Regular range is just the whole, how far does this box and whisker stretch? If it's interquartile range, it's how far does the box stretch? Okay, so this one was 20 minus 5, or what? What's 20 minus 5? 15. This one was 18 minus 5, which is 13. Did Willow have a greater range than Taylor? No, Taylor had the greater range. That's why this one's gone. So it has to be D. All right. Number 4 is the crappy one. It's just literally talking about the box and whisker plots, okay? If you want, each box and whisker plot shows the prices in thousands of dollars of used cars advertised for sale at 3 car dealerships. So these are different car dealerships. So remember, minimum, median, max. You have your Q1, Q3, whatever, but minimum, median, and max are the ones that you really look at. If you want to go to the dealer whose prices seem least expensive, and this is overall least expensive, which dealer would you go to? The which one? What? Excuse me. Why do you say the third one?
Because the way back.
Yeah, I like that one. It would never be the first one for me.
Because it's a high price.
Because everything's over. Why might this one, this better than new, maybe pick choice better than this one? It may not be. It may not be. But why might somebody pick better than new?
Oh, it's because the now is like, it has like the leg is more higher.
I got what you're saying.
than the
Right.
other one.
So if you look at this one, it goes further down. So it's got more like cheap cars. Does that make sense? But again, I would look at that median. Since this median or the middle price is higher than this one, I would probably go with yours now. Neither is incorrect in the way that you describe it. Okay. So it just depends on how you talk about it. So it says, write a sentence using summary statistic words like mean, median, mode, quartile to explain the car dealership that you would choose. So that's what we just did. Why did we choose yours now? It has a lower median. If we chose better than new, why'd we say we would choose this one? The minimum is the smallest. Everybody good between the 3? Anything like that is what they're asking you for. Got it? All right. So that's all of your notes. We're going to look at your assignment for today. I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm actually going to go to your assignment so that you can see it. So it's an interactive assignment and you have to take a screenshot, and I'll explain to you how to do that. So you might want to pay attention on this one. Find all your stuff. There we are. All right, so let me get back to share my screen. that everybody can see it. All right, so this is what you're doing today. And you have different levels and you have things that you need to do. This is not super hard, okay? So on the very first one, you're just labeling it. What's this first one? What's this one? The minimum. So you're just gonna take this and drag it. It won't let me not take it out, so apparently so. You got it? So just drag it. All right, so what do you do for me? Once you get them all filled in, so like if I put this one here, y'all see what I'm saying? Once I finish, what you're gonna do is you see these little 3 dots up here? You're gonna go to print. I think I've showed you this at the very beginning of the year. And change this to a PDF. And then save it as whatever you want to call it. Got it? And then upload it. That's what you're uploading. Okay. Then you need to go to level 2. So when you go to level 2, you have to make a box plot or you have to answer box plots. Okay. Is everybody good? All right. Number of letters, range, time spent. You put that in there. So this one's just answering questions. You check it. We're going to go to level 3. You have to do all the levels, guys. And this one, you're actually making a box plot. So I wanted to show you this just so you can see it. It says, drag the circles to create the box plot representing the number of minutes patients spent in the doctor's waiting room. If the minimum waiting time is 7 minutes, the max is 25. So I'm going to drop this box all the way over here to 25. You see your box? You guys see this? Your upper quartile is 24. Your lower quartile is 9. So we slid that over. Your median, I forgot about that one. 19. It says 19. That's okay. Your, yep. And then your minimum was 7. So we're just going to move this. So you just got to play with it a little bit to make sure it, that's it. You got it? Take a screenshot, upload it. Got it? That's okay. Again, 3 little dots, print as a PDF. All right. Then you have exam style, and you want to do those as well. Once you get to exam style, you're done. It should not take you very long at all. Got it? Is everybody good? All right, go ahead and get to work. I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.